thirst for some significance of the both dimensional kind, you enter a realm of spirit, of sight and sound and mind. Your radio is a cosmic doorway and your psyche begins to spark. When you tune in to Gary and the Sun and Night Dreams After Dark.
Night Dreams Talk Radio, After Dark, wants to give a big shout out to all the truckers that listen to our show. Night Dreams Talk Radio Network brings you the World Paranormal News with James Creechbaum. Now, the latest news.
I'm James Creechbaum with the Paranormal and World Changes News. CIA documents show that an alien base was discovered beneath Mount Hayes. And one report in Alaska, beneath Mount Hayes, due to its remoteness and inaccessibility, Hayes is rarely climbed despite its status as the highest mountain in the East Range of the state. It is also the epicenter of what locals call the Alaska Triangle, a hot spot for reports of mysterious lights, missing hikers, and even diminutive wilderness living beings. Are UFOs piloted by humans from the future? Well, is it possible that unidentified flying objects are piloted not by aliens, but by our own from the future descendants? Now, these are the claims of a recently released book from an author on UFOs and what could they be. Could consciousness pervade the universe? The question of exactly what consciousness is has puzzled philosophers and scientists alike for a millennia. But what exactly is consciousness? Is it something that our brains produce, or can it exist outside of complex, highly evolved forms of life? Could consciousness be inherent to all matter? Also in the news, a doctor warns of lung cancer spike due to smoke from deadly Australian brush fires. A leading respiratory doctor has warned prolonged exposure to hazardous air quality due to smoke from Australia's brush fires could lead to a spike in diseases such as lung cancer in the next decade. Well, a UFO was reported over and above Marcy, New York, and that was on January 12, 2020. It was UFO flying orbs was reported. And that sighting, again, was in Marcy, New York. Now, the event happened on January 12th, and it was submitted to MUFON. Now, the witness reported that four orbs were captured on a video. And they go on to say that they were not balloons, and they would not stop, and they would change direction. Volcanism rolled out and Dino extinction debate. A new study has suggested that it was an asteroid strike, not volcanism, that ultimately wiped out the dinosaurs. To determine this, a university professor and his colleagues analyzed samples of sediment retrieved by drilling deep beneath the North Atlantic seafloor. Their findings indicated that while there was a period of destructive volcanism at the end of the Cretaceous period, it was not responsible for causing the extinction of the dinosaurs. Next news break, top of the hour.
You are listening to Night Dreams Talk Radio Network, from our compound to you worldwide, with your host, Gary Anderson.
That is me. Well, we're starting the week out fresh. Today is Monday. I hope everybody had a great week. And I tell you what, I started out with a very simple project in the studio on a Saturday morning. Well, came Sunday about 7 o'clock at night, I was done. That hour project turned out to be the world's worst nightmare. But, well, I'm happy I got everything back the way it's supposed to be and working. And you know what? I like the way the studio looks now, and I like how I laid out the mixers and all the equipment better, because now I can have better access, and added another monitor and another computer. Well, gee, I have more computers in here than a computer store has, James.
I know you do. You got more computers and what do they call it, mixers and wires. Wires is the thing. You've got a whole snafu of wires going on.
Did I ever tell you I was colorblind?
No, tell me more.
Well, there's not much more to tell you, but I tell you, when some of the red wires and brown wires look the same, you can hook up stuff and you think you have it hooked up right. Like when we were talking last night to check things out, I kept telling you, it didn't sound right. It didn't quite sound right. Well, it's because I had a brown wire plugged in where a red wire was supposed to be.
Yeah, you do sound better now than you did last night. So that was the problem that I take.
Well, I think so. Well,
yeah, I think so.
I think people are, it's not distorted like I think it was last night. But,
no, I can tell a little difference already, or a big difference, I should say.
Yeah, tonight our guest is going to be Constance Briggs. She'll be back on again. And I just, got an email from her. We're going to be talking more about the moon. I tell you, I've still been thinking a lot about the show we had last Thursday with our guests, talking about all the photographs he analyzed and checked out on the backside of the moon, like buildings and bases and even and a person walking. Who knows? I got a funny feeling that is where our secret Space Force has been all these years. What do you think?
Well, there's a lot going on there. There's even people say we've never been to the moon, Gary. After all, the thickest at the Apollo 11 was 2.5 inches to go through a radiation field and go to 250,000 miles and come back. But I guess we did it, and yeah, there is reasons why we haven't been to the moon. So that would be a very plausible one, that there's aliens there. Or we go there, but secretly. I mean, there's theories that we've had Apollos all the way up to 17 or 20 or something in the late 70s and been going, but we just don't know. I'd like to know. I don't know why I need to know, but something's going on there for sure.
Well, I definitely think we were at the moon. For the people that say we never went to the moon, well, all I can say is, I kind of rate you where the flat Earth people think. Yes, I know that we have been to the moon. The Earth is round, and yes, can you imagine, if the Earth is flat and all these, rockets we sent up, first with animals like chimpanzees, well, actually dogs first, and then chimpanzees, and then we made the step, sending a human, in a space capsule to go around the moon. Could you imagine if the Earth is flat, what it would have been like?
It would have been a two-dimensional world, wouldn't it?
Well, do you believe seriously that the world is flat and we never gone to the moon? Could you imagine how would? Yeah, well, I can just see this capsule up in space going around a flat, Earth. Yeah, I just don't buy it.
They would have said, Houston, we have a problem. We don't know which side of the Earth to come back on. You're flat. Do we come on the, that's just weird. I don't know. Maybe I just don't understand enough about it.
Well, I don't know. If anything, it's diamond shaped. Why don't we just pick on that one?
Oh, that would be, speaking of diamonds.
Oh, yeah. Do you have a couple you can send me?
I do. And guess what? They may be somebody who passed away. That's right. They can take one person who has died and make 6 diamonds out of it. Now, granted, it's going to cost a pretty penny, but it can be done.
Yeah, but are these diamonds, okay, let's put it this way. You go to a jeweler, right? And he can tell when a diamond is a real diamond, has been, created by nature. And what, you take one of these diamonds and, oh, come on, I don't want to buy that. That's your Uncle Charlie.
Yeah, and he's winking at me. Can you imagine if you did that and say that you had a cantankerous uncle, Charlie, that you can speak of there, and he wanted to be a spirit attachment, and he came back as one of them diamonds, and he's there forever to mess with you.
Yeah, well, why don't you live in Washington State? Why don't you move over here? I'll help pay for some of your expenses to come here. And you know what? When you die, we'll just compost you. We'll take you to the composting plant. And Washington State's legal now to have bodies. You can have your remains, composted. And then you can grow your favorite vegetables in the garden out of it. Your loved ones giving back.
Yeah. Listen, Washington's got all kinds of things going on. They're very liberal about their cremation and the afterlife. You can be put into pottery or jars or crystals. You can be made into diamonds, compost, and you can be a tree someday.
Oh yeah, they're working on right now. The professor, lady who's trying to perfect it, is basically, it's been up on the internet. When you die, they put you in a fetal position, right? And they put you in a kind of like almost egg-shaped burlap bag, with potting soil. And maybe you're composting from your, one of your other loved ones, okay? And then they put a couple seeds for trees. You choose. You want to be an oak tree? You want to be a cedar tree? You want to be a fir tree or whatever, apple tree. And what it'll do, it'll then absorb your nutrients as your body is breaking down to grow this tree. And part of you will be part of the tree. Your DNA will be absorbed by that tree. So there you are. Now, there you went from being a human being to a, DNA certified tree.
You know where I'm waiting for them to come out next there in your state, since they seem to be the front runners and all this stuff, is a way to now mix you in with this medical marijuana, and now they can smoke you along with your medicine. That's what I'm waiting to hear from next.
Oh, come on. That would be totally crazy, wouldn't it? Think about that.
Would.
Hey, smoke your loved one. I'm sure there's loved ones that had some of their relatives smoked, but that's a different type of smoked.
Yeah, I guess it would be that. Listen, nothing's crazier than being compost or put into a paperweight or something. I don't know. Only time will tell.
Well, there's a lot of more simpler ways to be healthy in 2020. One is cut down on your sugar intake. Start exercising. Drink a lot more tea and coffee. Have that cup of cup of that nice wine, red wine at dinner time, and just relax more and get out and exercise at least 3 times a week, and you might live a few years longer.
Well, I'm definitely going to cut down on the sugar. I would like to exercise more, but boy, it's been kind of cold to do that. At least I got some heat today. Amen to that, brother.
Well, I'm sure you lost a lot of weight. It's called shivering. and you burn off more shivering than you do having sex.
I'd like to do my own experiments on that one. Thank you very much.
Well, I'm just going by what I'm reading right now.
I hear you. But yeah, I don't doubt that. I got to tell you, the shivering route, granted it may be good to lose a little bit of weight, but man, it just sucks because it's cold.
Yeah, well, now you know what cold is after, 4 days without heat?
I don't even know how. It's been so long, I forgot what it's been since last Thursday, however long that is.
Well, now at least you have heat again. What's your temperature, roughly?
Well, I cranked it up about 75, and I turned it down for the show because it's loud right here in the studio, but it's comfortable right here right now, that's for sure. I don't know. I feel like, geez, it's a heat wave.
Oh, yeah, I guess it would be.